Your electricity bill went up 12% last year, and nobody told you why. The official story is inflation, aging infrastructure, and summer heat waves. That's half true. The real reason is sitting in warehouses you'll never see, processing data for companies you use every day, and it's consuming power at a rate that's literally breaking the grid in real time. In 2023, data centers consumed about 4% of the US electricity. This year, in 2026, it's 8%. You're watching the consumption double, while your available power stays exactly the same. And the culprit isn't servers from 2010, it's the new ones, the AI ones. Specifically, the NVIDIA H100 and H200 chips that train every large language model you've interacted with. One of these chips pulls 700 watts continuously. A single rack of them burns 10 kilowatts. A mid-sized data center now pulls more power than a city of 100,000 people. Here's where it gets strange. You know what copper is used for? Electrical wiring. You know what lithium is used for? Batteries that store power when the grid can't keep up. You know what's happening right now? Every ton of these materials that used to go into consumer electronics is now being rerouted into data center infrastructure. Copper prices hit record highs in early 2026. Lithium is being strip-mined in South America at a rate that's draining aquifers in countries like Argentina and Chile. The connection nobody's making is this. Your electricity bill is rising not because power is scarce. It's rising because the infrastructure that delivers it is being strangled by demand from a technology that's only months old at scale. Take Virginia, Northern Virginia specifically. That's where Amazon, Google, and Microsoft built their primary data center clusters. In 2020, data centers there consumed 2% of the state's electricity. In 2026, it's 26%. The utilities predicted they'd have surplus power for years. Instead, they're already rationing during peak hours. Dominion Energy, the regional provider, has stopped accepting new data center connections. They physically cannot supply the power. So, what happens? The companies move to the next state. They move to North Carolina, to Texas, to anywhere there's available capacity. And power plants that were supposed to be retired, now they're getting mothballed and restarted. Coal plants, natural gas plants. The electricity your phone runs on is increasingly coming from fuel sources we thought we were phasing out. But here's what makes this a deeper game. NVIDIA doesn't make the chips for charity. They're licensing them at $40,000 per H100. A single data center might have 10,000 of them. That's $400 million in hardware costs, and the power bill is larger than that. So the economics only work if these companies can recoup the cost fast. That means running the chips at maximum capacity constantly, 24 hours a day. No seasonal slowdown, no power conservation. The chip doesn't care. It's optimized for throughput, not efficiency. And because the demand for AI inference is exploding, every search result, every chatbot response, every image generation, more chips are being manufactured. Samsung, TSMC, Intel, they're all racing to build fabs that can produce them. And do you know what a semiconductor fabrication plant requires? Insane amounts of water, insane amounts of rare earth minerals, insane amounts of power. You're watching a feedback loop where producing the chips that power AI requires the exact same critical minerals and energy that the AI systems themselves consume. Copper is the lens here. A traditional data center uses about 1 ton of copper for every megawatt of power it can handle. Hyperscale, or AI facilities, frequently cited in the range of 25-50 tons per megawatt when including full build-out. Why? Because the cooling systems are more complex. You're running more power density through smaller spaces, so you need more thermal management, more heat exchangers, more copper pipes. Copper also conducts electricity, so every time you increase the amperage flowing through a data center, you need thicker wires, more switches, more infrastructure. Copper consumption in data center build-out is tracking to double by 2028. Meanwhile, copper mining is hitting diminishing returns. The easy deposits are gone. New mines are deeper, lower grade, more expensive to extract. So the cost of the mineral goes up, which gets passed to utilities, which gets passed to you. This is where your intuition starts to break. You think, well, they'll just build more power plants. But here's the thing nobody says out loud. There aren't enough critical minerals to do that at scale. There is not enough lithium on Earth to build enough battery storage to back up a grid powered by AI data centers and renewable energy simultaneously. There is not enough copper mined annually to wire up the transmission infrastructure those data centers would need. We are hitting a hard physical ceiling, and it's arriving faster than the economy can adjust for it. The utilities know this, so they're doing something clever. They're raising rates in tiers. If you use baseline power, heating, lighting, refrigeration, you pay X. If you use above baseline power, you pay 2X or 3X. The idea is to incentivize conservation, but here's what actually happens. Wealthy households absorb the cost easily. Middle-class households start choosing between comfort and bills, and data centers, they just pay. The markup doesn't matter to them because the AI revenue is that large. So electricity stops being a public utility and starts being a luxury good for whoever can afford the premium price. You are living through the moment where a technology transition is colliding with physical scarcity. The AI boom is real, the capability is real, the economic value is real, but the infrastructure to support it at this speed with these materials is not. Something has to give. Either AI development slows down, or electricity gets rationed, or prices rise until demand destroys itself. There's no scenario where all three stay the same. Your electricity bill isn't rising because the grid is failing. It's rising because it's being eaten. If you thought data centers would be the main culprit in raising energy prices, then you need to watch this video here to see how energy shock can come back with
a vengeance.